Good morning, YouTubes. How's it going? John English here. John English Technical Services coming at you with another one of these impromptu videos where I just kind of point the camera at a bunch of hardware and I kind of ramble on a few thoughts that I've been holding inside and just give you guys a little bit of entertainment value. I haven't really been making videos that long in my life. I mean, I always aspired to. Yeah, it's just one of those things that you got to get into the routine of doing, and then it becomes more like second nature, and it's just like anything, you start dribbling a basketball when you're younger. You're not going to be double dribbling, you're not going to be able to dribble through your legs or anything until you start to really practice. You're not going to be able to switch off to the other hand until you give it some practice. So that's what we're doing. Life is about practicing, not medical stuff, but everything is a practice. So we're kind of getting a few things going. First of all, I'd like to, before we get into like any of the details, I just wish you guys have had a safe and happy 4th of July. I got out and saw some family yesterday. It was really, really cool. And we got to drive around the state and see some pretty cool fireworks shows, a lot of illegal fireworks. As you know, I'm in California, so anything that's up in the air is definitely illegal. Like if you get any of those mortars or Roman candles or any of these things that you shoot and they blow up above you, they are classified as illegal. So, but it is all too common now. We have a lot of people engaging in this illegal activity, and it can be kind of concerning for folks. I know it's a lot of folks do not like it, and then there's some that like myself, who don't really mind too much as long as it's being done correctly and maybe safely. But unfortunately, accidents happen. So on our way home, we saw a full-on structure fire off of the freeway, and I mean, it was somebody's poor house. It was just gone, up in smoke. So I was concerned about. I've always been concerned. I'm a fire survivor myself. I've had a total loss. I've actually had to rebuild my entire life from ground zero after suffering a fire and a total loss for myself and my family. And basically I had to start over with everything that was in my Subaru at the time, which is literally like a couple pairs of shorts and shirts and basically like a traveling DOP kit, because long story short, I was going on a little vacation, then I was gone, and our house burned down while we were off the compound. So came back to a completely scorched compound and had to start everything over. I lost all my computers, all my hardware. I had thousands of memories, pictures, collector's items, a lot of stuff. Maybe even like some, I don't know. There's things that I lost that I'll never be able to recover, and that's part of life. So I have been through total loss, fire. And it gives you a fresh perspective on life and what you want to value. So I do not recommend anybody go through that. But if you do, and you are suffering, and you see this video, and you need some help, or you need to talk to somebody, I am here for you. If you need to consult with a human that's gone through the stress of fire and what can come about of losing everything in your life and having to start over. It's an incredible experience. I do not recommend it, but if you do, you can make it. You can come out on the other side. You can be a good person, and you can survive that experience. It's possible. If I can do it, so can you. So, but let me tell you, it gives you this like overwhelming appreciation for what you do have. So when you go down to zero and you have to rebuild, it can be a blessing in some ways. You can learn some things about yourself, about your community. For me, I had my computer business, and my community was incredibly beneficial. I was able to jump right into some work, and but life gets better once you get wiped out. You want to say, hey, life is good. Life could be much better. Okay, so we'll go over a little bit of what we're mining right now. We just had the script here finished up, so I'll try to keep the phone camera here pointed at this, but basically what we were doing is we were running a space mesh script. So we have two 3080 Ti's on this rig, and we were running up to 200, I guess, units or files of 64 gigabyte in size. So I go to my solid state drive here, check out my Smesh, and I'll kind of get this a little bit pointed closer. And I'm going to take my 67 gigabyte, because it's 64 gigs or 67 gigabytes. We're going to take that and we're going to copy it over to our RAID 5 here and paste it. And then I'll just do the same thing to our other data drive, because each data set here, data 0, data 1, this is a GPU. This represents a GPU that was working. So you finish that up, and once you have all your parameters set, you just make sure that it's basically verifiable with the Space Mesh software. So once we're done copying this, hopefully we're going to be able to just run the Space Mesh software, and then the Space Mesh will just see that we have this file, these files available, and they should match and be compatible with what Space Mesh is expecting. So there's different tutorials out there. I'm not going to get into it too much, but you can look it up if you're into Space Mesh. But you can GPU plot with as many GPUs as you want. I've used 4 3080 Ti's at a time, and I spent months getting wrecked. So I'm trying this over a little bit. What we had to do is we had to increase the plot size to a 64 gig, and then that turns, I guess it's 64 gigabytes, and what that is translated is into 67 gigabytes of data on here. So it's just one, it has to do with binary conversion when you're going from gigabytes to gigabytes. So it's something that I'm not fully fluent in, but a lot of people, I don't even think they're aware of the differences, but it all boils down to a binary coding essentially. So yeah, so that's what we're doing. We're going to copy this over to the RAID 5, and then we'll have the Space Mesh software to run. And I can look at my GPUs here, and I'm looking at this rig, and we don't have anything spinning. So that means that we had a reboot or a restart or a reset, something happened, and this rig is no longer online. So what I'll do is I'll go over to this guy, and I'll switch my inputs. And this one's running, so we have no issues with this. This is a beautiful machine. This is a hand-me-down Dell, and I think I've talked about this before, but this is just a repurposed kind of a shit bomb, and I just think it's great. It has an incredible uptime. For some reason, it just keeps working. We even have one of those little splitter PCIe splitter riser jobbers, and I mean, this is about as basic as it gets. You can see the Pico power supply, and it's 300 watts. Running off of a PSU here, the 1200 watt PSU HP, all on 240. And this is one of my, this is a happy rig, just a happy rig. And you can see that we're going to be able to receive rewards. This wallet has 136 Smesh, so hopefully we see some proposals. Let me get switched over to this one so I can kind of show you what we're talking about. Oh, that's actually a different input. So we got to go our little input switcher here. This is our Cable Matters input switcher. This is basically like a KVM without the V, just a KM, keyboard mouse switcher. So I'll go over to our Space Mesh, and let's just see if okay, so we have eligible rewards for layer 10, 25, 69. So that's gonna be good. So this is eligible for rewards in that layer. So what that states is basically we have 12.5 terabytes of Space Mesh, and that's going to be rewarded in X amount of Space Mesh per terabyte. And I think the last time I checked, it was 3 Space Mesh per terabyte. So you guys can do the math. It could be a good payday for this rig. So we'll just move along here, and we're going to go back up to HDMI 1. And as you know, guys, I don't have to have the newest of new. Like I said, when you go through a fire, things like, this TV, this was a repurposed, oh, hey guys, what's up? You can see me, and the lack of hair that I have. Anyway, so we'll go here, and gotta make sure our keyboard's working. Why isn't it working? Hello? I had the wrong input again. So we're gonna go back to input 4. No, it's 3 should do it. 3, hello? Yep, 3 is it, okay. So let's get logged in. I'm gonna punch in a password. So this machine should be automatically loading up some Space Mesh here. And yeah, let's go ahead and see if it doesn't load. We'll just start it up, get that running, and then we're also going to fire up the Pyron hash, because that's what this was doing before this. So we'll go down here to our 1.82a LOL miner, and we'll just start up Alephium. And then let's also get into this wallet. So bear with me one more second. All right, so now we got the Space Mesh wallet running, and it's up to date. So we have to wait for the node to sync, and then it should be ready to go. So, wait, what the heck? It looks like we're mining Alephium on this. What did I do? What did I select? Oh, I started up Alephium. That's cool. We could even leave it on that, but I'm not going to. I think what I like on this one is Pyron hash, because Pyron hash doesn't have any ASICs on it as far as I'm concerned. So we'll go to Pyron. Where's P? Pyron. There it is. A Pyron hash. Okay, so we'll run that. And as you know, that is running Pyron to a mineable, getting paid out in Solana. And the reason why we're doing that is because we believe in Updog. The potential of Updog is enormous. You can look it up. There's a few different clones of it already, which further validates the legitimacy of an Updog project. So it's very grassroots. It's very community driven. It also reminds me heavily of early Dogecoin days. So Updog is on Solana. I highly recommend you check it out. Again, this is not financial advice or spiritual advice. This is just my thoughts on where we stand with this stuff. So you can do what the heck you want. I really don't care at all. So anyway, we did a little cleanup here. We kind of moved some cables to the top, power cables, and kind of organized. We got a little bit of the floor. The floor has been picked up a little bit, so it's not as like just a total mess. You got a little zip tie or a Velcro strap on that cable, so we're trying to keep things a little bit cleaner. It's important, you know. Cleanliness is next to godliness, as they say, I guess. So as you can see here, we're loaded down on some Pyron, and you know, these 3080 Ti's, they absolutely smack on Pyron. We have 30 gigahash at the pool eventually, and it just works, you know. I really enjoy Pyron. So that gives us this ability here to get this rig back online. You know what we may do is after that file is transferred on the Space Mesh rig, I'll probably turn on the Space Mesh software and let it figure out what's needed, and then there'll be more to do, a lot more to do. So yeah, and we've been thinking about selling some of this hardware off. I don't know what you guys think about that, but this may be a good time to move some of this older generation stuff along. Excuse me, got some little bit of a burp going on. But anyway, like these 2060s, I don't know if I should try to give them away to build a channel or sell them on eBay to get some funds to then buy like a 4090, which actually is probably a better idea than giving these away. I probably should utilize the funds in a proper manner, because I'm not a Red Panda or a Mining King or a Hawk or anybody that could afford to give this stuff away. I don't have a channel. I haven't like devoted myself to this YouTube experience, so I'm kind of just going with the flow, and it's fun to get in here and talk to you guys and explain, you know, the tech stuff that I enjoy. So, you know, this is like a fun hobby that's also, I think I'll be doing this more professionally in the future. I definitely want to do more ASIC mining and get this whole farm set up and running as efficient as possible. I know some of you guys are like, oh, solar is stupid and batteries are dumb. Well, you could look at Chump Change, and that guy, he knows, man. He's feeling it like I am. I think he has a better rate than I do electric wise. I'm in California, so you know our electric rate here is absolutely the pits. And in my location, I'm getting penalized for being essentially in my area. I'm in a high risk area, and they penalize you for that because my utility company already caused all kinds of problems, and now they've basically transferred that responsibility, that issue, or that I guess the cost of their doings, the way that they hurt our society and our communities is just absolutely incredible. So it's disgusting in so many ways. And now for them to push the buck onto us and make us pay for their mistakes is just absolutely, it's just atrocity. That's an atrocity, but it's pretty common. That seems to be like the American way, you know, no corporate responsibility whatsoever. Let's just pass it on to the consumer, which is total BS in my opinion. But all rants aside, this panel is set up so it can have 100 amps going to it, and about 90 easily. I think the breaker that I have on the box, the main is ready to accept 90 amps. I think I only have 60 or 80 plugged in right now. I can't remember exactly what the breakers at the main is, but anyway, my point is that we have all this spacing that we can run an XP 12 or 12 XP or an 18. I think it's 18K. One of those really good inverters. I'm unfamiliar with the whole system, but basically, you know, it'll be a grid-tied system. So there'll be an inverter on this wall, some batteries below, and then we'll tie it all in to the solar outside. And this should be basically a system that will help the whole farm operate. It's a pretty big upfront cost, but with the way energy prices go, that's a never-ending it's a never-ending struggle. You're going to have increase of energy use along with your price the whole time. So I'm a heavy user. That's just the bottom line. I'm not even close to like what some of you guys use. Like for instance, Hobbyist Miner. That guy, that homie is using so much power, and it's incredible. I mean, one of his plugs is like my whole farm. So I think it's great. I love that he has that ability, and I'm so proud of him for being able to, you know, come up with that kind of like game plan and to insert himself into a state that allows for that, and just a lot of hard work and really good strategy has gone into what that gentleman has achieved. And it's really cool to see his development, his growth. It's actually quite inspiring. So I think, you know, shout out to the Hobbyist Miner if you guys follow him. He's definitely one of the leading edge, cutting edge guy as far as like, you know, home mining and maximizing your panels and getting some really cool stuff going. And it's just been totally inspirational. I totally wish I could have, you know, ASICs everywhere, but that's just not the case. So, but we have ASICs off site, and they're not here. We have these mini ASICs that aren't too bad. They're pretty good even here. But off-site, we have the two KS2s and the KS1, and I visited them yesterday, and they were working beautifully. I couldn't believe it. I had to add a fan to the environment to get some of that hot air out of there, but it was so cool walking into that ASIC room and hearing those things humming. It reminded me of like the big boy farms, so feels pretty good. So yeah, we're still, I don't know if you heard this, but it just kicked on. So our swamp cooler is just filling up. We have a timer on the wall. Kind of give you the lowdown here. I apologize for the mess, but this is our inlet for our water, and that timer just clicked on, and it's going to run, I think, for 3 to 5 minutes. And that hose is just going to cruise over here, and then gets into our you know, or this is a tank. I think it's like 20 to 30 gallons in here, and it just pumps that water over the membrane. And there she is. You know, this thing's kind of dirty already, but that's the benefit of having a swamp cooler in here. You have a little bit of an active filtration system. So yeah, it's very calcium rich water we're dealing with. I could probably put like an inline filter in there, but right now it's working great. So what's the point? So we have a few more things. Got some pile of e-waste. We got some excess ink that we're gonna try to sell on to eBay, and I've had some pretty good success with the eBay store right now, which is great. Got to get that extra fiat. We got another salad rig running. We have 2 salad rigs up and running on the 4090s I have. They're not in here right now. They're in my office. I should do a video of my office someday and kind of go over like how that whole function works and show you my main PC. Maybe when I go to clean my main computer out, I'll show you like how that's set up, because I'm pretty proud of some of the computers I build, man. They're some of the nicest machines out there. I can confidently say that I do build some really good computers, and very proud of that. So that's pretty much all I really should be talking about, as you can see, we're using like almost 5,000 watts at the wall, and I think this room is considering, or this facility is definitely absorbing over 5,000 watts considering. And we still want to get a 50 amp PDU. We're going to get one. We're going to plug it into this thing and get that meter installed. That will give us some better data in here. But yeah, other than that, we're wrapping up some space mesh. We're still stacking as much Caspa as we can on the KS0s. These guys are doing the old unminable thing to Solana. And yeah, it's, you know, we're cruising. So, but yeah, life is good, guys. I hope life is good for you and that you're having fun. And yeah, we're going to be getting into our inventory here soon. We got old boxes that we can use to package up our stuff to sell it. Some things that, you know, like this is brand new in box that we want to take advantage of. This is an inverter and inverter charger, so you can hook up some batteries to it. And I may do a rudimentary solar trailer, kind of like our man Chump Change is doing. He has this really cool, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but he's built a solar trailer, and right now he has one set of panels running just his fans for exhaust, and then he's built a badass pergola and a huge system for potentially running his KS0s and some other ASICs. I think he's going to do really well with this system. Yeah, I'm rooting for him. He's got a really good skill. He does really clean work, and it's just absolutely fun to watch that gentleman utilizing his prior life skills and just doing such a great job with building out this new infrastructure. And it's totally inspiring me to do like something similar. I have a lot of property that I can utilize this on. I definitely wanted to get more panels out in the sun and taking advantage of that ability, because I have like almost 300 days of sunny, clear days of sunshine here, at least 265, 270. So those are really good odds in my favor. So I'd like to take advantage of that. So, all right, you guys, and yeah, that's enough from me today. Hope you enjoyed listening or watching this. If you did, it's not a whole lot of content here, kind of my little corner of the world. But yeah, it's good, man. We're moving through life, and we're grateful and full of gratitude and positivity, and that's pretty much all there is to it. So, hope you guys found this interesting. If you did, hit that like, comment, subscribe, whatever you guys do for supporting fellow YouTube content creators, and I wouldn't mind having your support. So, thank you so much, and I wish you guys a great weekend. Catch you later.